Hey, if you're like me, you've got a decent amount of hours into Skyrim already. As such, you might be looking for something to spice your game up. Well, do I have a treat for you. In this inaugural episode of the Bucket List, we're going to be going through a few, nothing major, but a few tidbit mods, just to spice up your load order a bit. A few creatures, an overhaul or two, just stuff to make it more interesting. Let's dive in, shall we? Why don't we kick this list off right here? The Humblest Hut by S70. Now you may notice the, how will I put this, lackluster size of this player home, hence the name. Always remember, dear viewer, it's never about how big it is, it's always about how you use it. Although it does help when it comes with a lot of perks. This lovely little shack outside of Whiterun comes with the full suite of amenities for any adventurer looking to stay the night. With a full suite of crafting tables and your own personal garden, this home has it all. The quest to gain access to this house is actually pretty endearing too. Nothing major, nothing grand or epic, a small little revenge story, but it's unique, it's fun. So, if you're like me, and find the idea of the most powerful person in Skyrim living in the smallest shack possible hilarious, then this is the home for you. It also comes with a free chicken. Beware the chicken. Alright, now that we got a home base to work from, let's start adding some creatures, monsters, that sort of thing. I'm thinking we start this old school. Mihail Mods is a specific author that specializes in this kind of thing. Old school animals, new school animals, stuff from other games, all sorts of interesting monsters. Like these minotaurs. Load of fucking bullshit! Seeing as the Sons of Elysia are from Oblivion, you're gonna want to be checking the border. Specifically, the Holds border in the Jarl Mountains. Speaking of Oblivion, why not throw in goblins? Everything's better with goblins. Some of them won't even attack you. They're just free to chill with the orcs.
This is why I avoid being social.
Why not throw in a pal for Dusty? She could use the company. Hey, I can talk to it. Check this out. Hey shit, that worked. Another import from Cyrodiil. Cyrodiil horses are absolutely gorgeous. And just look at this guy. While these horses are beautiful, unfortunately they are not immune to gravity, as Smith learned. If you've got any water overhauls, then it might be a good idea to add some fish. Like these big ass tigerfish or the alligator gar that come with a devilfish pack. So, can I affirmatively say that I've caught a fish this big? You've even got options to spice up the forest. As an example, this here moose is just as docile as any real-life, genuine Canadian moose. Oh god! Or these wonderful ox here. Perfectly passive, genuinely affectionate, wonderful little beasts of burden. As can be seen here, these ox are incredibly docile. That was my rib! Cut the feet! Cut the feet! To any Morrowind players out there, Mihail's gone the extra mile and added a little friend back in too. Simply take the long, exorbitant swim outside Raven Rock, and eventually you'll find his little island and hut. It's a bit hard to miss.
Need something.
Yeah.
Hello there.
How dry
By
I
the
am.
gods, what the hell are you?
What do you think? I'm a mud crab. Crab? Sure, a mud crab. This me? Pretty sure. I look like a mud crab, don't I? Must be. This is me talking, right? So, I must be a talking mud crab.
Now that's something you don't see every day.
And I sell stuff, right? So, I must be a talking mud crab merchant. Stands to reason, don't it?
So, are you a merchant?
Sure. That's what I said. Did I stutter something? Talking mud crab merchant. With my lips. Oh, mouth parts. With my mouth parts?
Honestly, I'm quite surprised.
Something ain't right. But never mind. Just one of life's little mysteries. So you're gonna buy something or sit here jawing all day?
With that lovely selection of animals out of the way, it's time to move on to our next mod. First off, we're gonna need to find a blacksmith. This is Honed Metal by Skyliner390. Now this mod might be one of my favorites on this list. This mod frees up your character customization a bit and allows for a bit more role-playing, as you no longer need to specialize in crafting disciplines thanks to a more old-fashioned system of acquiring gear. Hey, Yorland, help a companion out, will you?
Yes.
Simply select the relevant option to you, and it'll open up the respective crafting menu. The twist here? It'll be using the NPC's crafting skill as opposed to yours. This means that a character who's never touched a blacksmith in their life could potentially get some of the best gear in the game, as long as they got the coin for it. Once the order's been placed, depending on how you've set things up, you can either receive your gear immediately, or have a set waiting time to add to that immersion. In addition, more exotic ingredients like ebony or dragon scales are going to be shit you gotta supply yourself. So, if you want that fancy dragon scale helmet, you're gonna have to go skin some dragons. This isn't limited to blacksmiths, however. Let's head on over to the college so we can find ourselves an enchanter. Christ, it's cold. Hey, Sergius, just the guy I was looking for.
Get away from me!
Aw, come on, old man. That's no way to treat a friend, right?
You know what I want, old man.
Let's hear it!
Second verse, same as the first.
Of course.
Fun fact, this is actually similar to how the enchantment system worked in Morrowind. If you could find yourself an enchanter, you could pay them to enchant shit for you. Speaking of Morrowind, it's high time we check out this next mod. Fine Goods from Morrowind by Felleroki. This is actually a pair of mods. The first mod covers Brad Shea, the dealer in Riften. He always claims that he sells fine goods from Morrowind. Well, now he can put his money where his mouth is. You'll see a variety of items from both Solstheim and mainland Morrowind, in addition to the lovely decorations he's got all over his stall. With the second installment in this series, The Grey Quarter, yet again by Felleroki, the entirety of the Grey Quarter in Windhelm gets the same treatment. This changes the Grey Quarter from, well, boring, to a lived-in, true Dunmeri settlement. Stepping inside the shop, you'll see that both Sadri's New Wares and the Nubius' Corner Club have gotten the same treatment as Branche. Each shop now contains a host of Morrowind-themed items. Honestly, this mod alone makes Windhelm one of my favorite cities. It gives the entire Grey Quarter a nice, lived-in feel. Hell, they're even hanging laundry up. Well, now that we're done harassing the elderly and running through the ghetto, why don't we just check the This is Moonlight Tales Essential Edition by Spone. Odds are, if you play a lot of Skyrim, you've already heard of this mod. Cracking open the mod menu, you can see all sorts of options to customize. As an example, Zero Frost's American Werewolf in London lookalike, Apex Werewolf. In addition to this, you've got the natural looking brown beta, the striped hyena by Critic Kitty, or how about we ditch being a werewolf altogether and just be a werebear? And yes, you can even customize the werebear. As a new member of the lycanthropic family, your relationship with the local wildlife is a bit different. Wolves and their like will tend to leave you alone more often than not, thanks to the Wolfkin Alliance perk. This also extends to other lycanthropes. Hell, both of them will even howl with you. Go ahead and start yourself a lycanthropic choir. The perk even extends to your human form. Ain't that right, Fenrir? Good pupper. If you'd like to add a bit of spice to your lycanthropic playthrough, you could always opt into lunar transformations. With this enabled, your transformations will be dictated by the fullness of the moon. A fair warning, this transformation lasts far longer than the typical beast transformation. You're going to be in your werewolf form from around 8 PM to 6 AM, so prep for a long night of hunting. Given the lightweight nature of the Essential Edition, you can run this with a host of other werewolf mods. Personally, I like running this with a mod that lets a werewolf eat an animal. Because why do I need a perk to chomp on a mammoth that I just spent 10 minutes clawing at his heels? Now that we're done talking about gifts from Hercene, let's go to the last place Hercene touched, shall we? For our next set of mods, we're going to be heading straight to Solstheim. The changes made by this next mod are going to become apparent right as soon as we get onto this dock. This is Bone Mold Expanded by Link815. As you can see by this absolutely stunning Gajalon cuirass and helmet, this mod is going to be adding a bunch of armors straight from Morrowind. In addition to this, Neloth has some new company. This Telvanni guard here is wearing a beautiful cephalopod helm with some extravagant Telvanni armor. With enough progress in the Raven Rock and Neloth quest lines, you'll eventually be able to craft these armors too. Or, you can even find these armors out in the wild, on the various reavers that populate the island. In order to craft the Telvanni helmets, you're going to have to find yourself some cephalopods in the ocean, or some mole crabs on the coast. They'll drop the various items you need to craft these helmets. In addition to finding them in the wild, merchants and such will also be able to carry them. This includes Mihail's Mudcrab Merchant, as you can see here. Thanks again for the trade! Alright, swiftly moving on then. For this next mod, we're going to be changing the wildlife a little bit. The Bloodmoon Restoration Project by Opus Glass is a mod that aims to reintroduce the original wildlife back into Solstheim. This includes the adorable little Newt workers that used to be on Solstheim before we got the frankly vanilla walrus replacements that we have now. Lord Tusk even gets a visual upgrade, getting himself a giant Newt that's ready to bite your head off. In addition to revamped workers, we also get Grolls. Back in the day, Grolls had these weird walrus-like heads. While that was unique, it doesn't really fit in with the modern aesthetic of trolls. So these Grolls combined both the walrus tusks with the general look of Skyrim trolls. There's even a friendly Groll you can find. Hello! And last but not least, we got Cannibal Draugr. Now these guys are based more on the brown Draugr that we found back on the original Solstheim. These guys were fast, mean, and honestly terrifying. While the behaviors aren't changed for these Cannibal Draugr, they do get a revamped look that's more reminiscent of the original. This mod even goes into such detail as changing generic corpses around Solstheim. Yep. Thank you, Bosco. Home sweet home. I'd just like to say thanks for sticking it out to the end. This might not be the best content around, but it means a lot knowing that people are watching it. Times are tough right now. And, well, if something I made is able to brighten your time in this hellhole a bit more, good. And hey, you beautiful people out there, all of you, stay safe, okay? I'll see you next time.